good day to you all students. I am Dr. Smita Sharma and I am Associate Professor in Physics, Government Dungar College, Bikaner. And today I am starting a new lecture series on the paper of MSc Final Physics. The paper is 7th A and the name of the paper is Electronics, Digital Electronics and Communication Electronics. The syllabus that I will follow is according to Maharaja Ganga Singh University, Bikaner. So let's get started. See, we all are familiar with electronics. We are basically, it is being taught us in 12th. Then it is again taught in UG, in some of the UG classes, either in part 1 or 2 or 3, and then we have a brief idea of electronics in MSc previous also. So here, what is new in this paper? Basically, in this paper we will study in depth knowledge about operational amplifiers. Although we get an knowledge about operational amplifier in our UG classes, but that is very small in comparison that we will study now. Also in UG classes, basically the idea is to give the motive behind is to give you the idea how the thing works, how does operational amplifiers works. But the complete analysis and IC based operational amplifier is not taken up. So here we will study in depth about operational amplifier, its working, its analysis, both AC and DC, and its different types, its behavior, and how it is used when it is in IC. When it is fabricated in IC, how does its applications are greatly enhanced or reduced, that all will be seen. Also in this paper we will study about oscillators in detail. Here also oscillators, LC oscillators we all study in UG classes, but it is just a time pass. We study it in very brief. So here we will be discussing LC oscillator. We will also discuss RC oscillators using ICs, and we'll study multivibrators. They are most important as we proceed to digital electronics. So we'll be discussing multivibrators too. Next, the topic that we'll study here in this paper is the voltage regulators. Here also we'll be given a brief idea how voltage regulator works and why is it necessary. Here in this paper we'll be discussing IC based voltage regulators. So these three are the topics that I'll teach you in lecture series. The second part of this same paper is of communication electronics, but I will teach you all these three topics. The operational amplifier has been given as a separate topic here in this paper because it is very important in NET exams. In NET exam there are many questions that are related to op-amp. So we'll be discussing the questions also, and first we'll discuss the theory. So before studying about this, let us see what we should know, what must be our prior knowledge. So I'll give you just a brief idea of the prior knowledge you should know, what you should know before studying this paper. So let's begin. So I'll be starting MSc final class. physics. So before studying about operational amplifiers, first of all we must know about two things. First is active devices. Do you know what are active and passive devices in electronics? If you are familiar, that is very good. But if you are not familiar, let us first discuss them. See, active devices and passive devices. Devices, what do you mean by devices? That are performing some action in electronics. So what devices we know? We know a resistor, we know an inductor, a capacitor. I am writing in brief. Then we know about diode, different types of diodes. Then we know about transistors, and then we know about ICs also. We are all familiar by these all terms. All other terms are made from these combinations. So if we see resistor, inductor, a capacitor, leaving them, if we see diode, what is a diode? Diode is a circuit, an electronic device that was basically made to act as a rectifier. Now we have many types of diodes and they perform many types of action, but basically initially the diode was made to behave like an rectifier. What is rectifier? Rectifier is that circuit that changes AC current to DC current. So this was the basic idea. So diode has a defined work. There is defined work given to the diode. Now next we take transistor. Transistor can act as a switch in different circumstances. It can act as an amplifier. Basically it was designed to act as an amplifier. So if we see, transistor also has a defined task. It can act as a switch, it can act as an amplifier. Now we take up IC. Now IC is a general term, integrated circuit. It is basically, it fabricates different electronic circuits into one, and it is very small in size. But if we see a definite IC, then we see either it has a work of amplification, it can work as a regulator, it can be assigned different tasks. So if we see all these components, we find that diode, transistors, IC have a certain defined task. So the devices that have a certain defined task to them are called active devices. Now what are RLC? RLCs are defined as a passive devices. Why they are called passive devices? Because they do not have a certain defined tasks, but they generally are attached to the active devices so that active devices may work in a definite way, so that they can perform the defined work given to them. Or we can say RLC help diode, transistor to work as an amplifier, to work as a rectifier. So this is basic idea of active and passive devices. Now next I would like to tell you about analog and digital circuits. Now what is analog and digital circuits? Always it is a circuit, an electronic circuit. An analog circuit is an electronic circuit where the voltage or the current varies. Basically analog circuit is a circuit where voltage or current, it can take any value at any time. What is digital circuit? Digital circuit can have only two states. Either it is high state, or it can take a low state. So this is basically a digital circuit. There are only two states. Either position will be here, or at an instant it is here, and at another instant it can be here. So there are only two states, either 1 or it will be 0. So this is a digital circuit. So the circuit that gives an output in such a way is called a digital circuit, and the circuit that gives us output in such a way, this is do not think that it will provide us a sine wave all the time, but the idea is it gives us the continuous signal. So if the signal is continuous, then this is analog circuit, and if the circuit gives us this output that represent only two states, 1 and 0, then that is a digital circuit. Now here I will also tell you about voltage, or rather we can say potential. See, so potential we all know. We know according to Ohm's law, V is equals to IR. This we know. Now here potential. For potential we must know that current always flows from high potential to low potential. This you should remember. We'll be using it all the time. This is a very simple thing. You must be thinking this we all know, but when we apply it in numericals, we all forget about it. See, current always flows from high potential to low potential. This you should always remember. Then one thing more, what is potential difference? Potential difference will be high potential minus low potential. If we are talking about a resistor, say this is the resistor and this is grounded and some signal is coming from here, current is flowing here. No, it is not grounded, it is connected to some other thing, and then it is part of one complex circuit. So current I is flowing through this resistor. So if the potential here is VA, if the potential is VB, then I will simply be VA minus VB upon R. This you should remember. At times we only remember potential voltage upon resistance or potential upon resistance, but basically current is potential difference upon resistance. This we will be using in throughout our syllabus, so please remember it. It is very simple thing, but we always forget about it. Now next I'll be taking you that you should know, and we will be using it more often, voltage divider rule. This is a very simple rule, but I can explain it in a here. I will with an electronic circuit. See, suppose I have a circuit like this. Or I can take a circuit like this. See, and I have to calculate potential across this resistor. Then how will I calculate? If I know potential across this resistor and I have to calculate potential across this resistor, in that case we generally use a voltage divider rule. Now what is voltage divider rule? We'll just work it out and then we'll use the formula. Quickly we give them name R1 and R2. This circuit can also be drawn in this way, and now I have to calculate potential across R2. Suppose the potential across R2 is V2 and initially the potential across the two ends is V1, or we can take it Vi, and this we can take as output V. Now what happens? See, suppose due to this potential I current is flowing in the circuit. Now because they are in series, same current will flow here also. So what we will do, first of all we'll calculate I. Now I will be Vi upon R1 plus R2, because both the resistors are in series. Now this is our current. Now we have to calculate voltage across R2, that is V0. So what will be V0? V0 using the Ohm's law is I into R2, because here same current is flowing here, so here also current will be I. Now we have already calculated I. What is this value? We will put this value, Vi upon R1 plus R2 into R2. So what is the idea? This we can write R2 upon R1 plus R2 into Vi. So now looking at this formula, we can calculate the general voltage divider rule. So what does the voltage divider rule says? Voltage divider rule says if the potential across any resistors that are combined in series has been provided to us and we want to calculate potential across one of the resistors, suppose say we want to calculate across R1, then using voltage divider rule we can calculate, suppose this is V1. So we can calculate V1 by putting R1, because we are using R1, we have to calculate across R1. Then we will use both the two resistors and then multiply it with the total potential. This is the formula of voltage divider rule. We will be using more often in our circuits, so please remember it. Now I'll be starting your lecture with operational amplifier. So before giving you the brief idea of operational amplifier, let us first discuss what are amplifiers. Do you know what are amplifiers? You must be knowing this is called pravardhak in Hindi. What is amplifier? Amplifier is a circuit which is given, if it is given a small signal, then it provides an output with an amplified form of the signal. So this is an amplifier, and this amplifier we have discussed in detail in our UG classes, there are various types of amplifiers, and basically we have studied the amplifiers using transistors. So they are called transistor amplifiers. Basically what they do, they take up an input signal and we provide us the amplified output. If we talk about transistors, we have three types of configuration in the transistor: common base, common emitter and common collector. All three configuration can act as an amplifier, but it depends what type of configuration we use. It depends entirely on our output. If we want to take a voltage gain or a current gain, then we take up common emitter amplifier. If we want only the impedance matching, then we take common collector amplifier, and so on. Here also voltage gain is there. So basically the type of configuration what we choose is our entirely choice according to our need. So all these I will be discussing one by one here also, but I will not discuss common base, common emitter, common collector amplifiers, but why I have taken here this type of configuration, that I will be telling you. So amplifier, I have told you that we talk about three types of configuration in it, and according to our choice, according to our need, we choose any of the configuration to act as an amplifier. Now there are various types of amplifier, but if we want a very large signal, then what we do? If we have an amplifier, it has a certain restriction. It can amplify to some extent. Suppose this is the signal provided and it amplifies to 5 times. So if there is restriction of the amplification, but what I have to do, if I want an amplification of 10 times amplification of the signal, then what I will do? I have an amplifier that can amplify only 5 times. Then what I will do? I will use 2 amplifiers. See, here I am using one amplifier and I am using another amplifier. So what I will do? I will first input the signal in this amplifier. I will get a 5 times amplified form of the signal, and then this signal I will feed in second amplifier and I will get the required 10 times amplified signal. This is the basic idea. So what does this mean? Attaching amplifiers one by one. This process is known as cascading. Attaching one by one. Why do we cascade many amplifiers? In order to provide us the required gain of the signal that we want. But there is some problem in this cascading. What is the problem? Whenever one amplifier is connected with another amplifier, there are certain amount of losses in between. Also, impedance do not match. Impedance also mismatches. So what to do? We use, suppose this, I will give you the idea with a very small example. Suppose I have a water pipe and now I have another water pipe. Suppose, no, I'll make it like this. Suppose I have a water pipe whose one end is broader than another. In this way I can tell you that a small signal was entered and now we have a larger signal. Suppose it is this. Now again I have an amplifier which is similar to it. Now how can I connect them? If I connect this end to this, then what will happen? Most of the water will leak out and very few water will enter this pipe. So what should I do? I can use a connector. If I suppose I take a connector and connect it here. A connector is built in such a way that it is broader from one end and it is shorter from another end. Then it will connect it, and then what will happen? The water that was coming here will pass through this connector and then again it will enter it. There will be no losses. Same is the case with amplifiers too. If we provide one signal that has been amplified to the amplifier, another amplifier which is of the same nature, then what happens? There is lots and lots of loss, and we defeat the purpose. So what do? We add some connectors here. Now what type of connectors here? You are familiar with it, RC coupled amplifier. We do coupling between the two amplifier stages, and the coupling devices are of many types. First is RC coupling. So if one stage is coupled with another stage with the help of R and C combination, then we say it is a RC coupling. If we connect two stages with the help of transformer, then we called it a transformer coupling. And if we connect it with the help of inductance LC coupling, L and C, then we say it a LC coupling. And fourth coupling technique is called direct coupling. Now what is direct coupling? If we connect one amplifier stage with another amplifier stage directly, then it is called a direct coupling. So in the next lecture I will start with operational amplifier with the technique of direct coupling. See here, I will be taking direct coupling. Okay, let's meet again. Thank you.